Hey there, welcome back to the Energy MD podcast, where we help people who are tired all the time and have mystery symptoms. Maybe you've been diagnosed with ME/CFS, chronic fatigue, long COVID, or even MCAS, mast cell activation syndrome, so that you can have the life that you deserve. So I'm really excited about today's interview because we're going to be talking a little bit about a different level of healing. So you can be healing mental, emotional, spiritual, physical, and or energetic. And we're going to be talking about the energetic today with my friend Louise Swartswalter. So let's learn a little bit about Dr. Louise. So she has 30 years of experience helping over 50,000 people achieve optimal brain power and success in life and business. She is a transformation wizard, blending naturopathy, NLP, kinesiology, trauma release work, and powerful energy work. She is passionate about connecting, clearing blocks to success, and helping others achieve their highest potential. Using a combination of tools, Louise has helped people move from anxiety to calm in one session. One client told her that one session felt like 16 years of therapy, while another said, "She saved my life." That feels good. Her team of certified brain soul success coaches are helping people just like you worldwide transform their lives and increase their business. Dr. Louise has been a guest on KKOB Radio and KOB TV. Good day, New Mexico. Dr. Louise, thanks so much for joining me today.
Oh, it's such a pleasure to be with you again, Dr. Evan. I just love what you're doing. I love your energy and so grateful to be here. Yes.
Yeah, it's always great having you on. And we've both been on this, we were just talking, we've both been on this path for a while, and it's great to see our individual evolutions. So today we're going to be talking about the 5 steps to rewire your brain, body, and soul for more energy. So let's kind of get into it. I was kind of talking a little bit about energy medicine. Can you tell us a little bit about what is energy medicine and I guess how your form of energy medicine might differ from other forms?
Yeah, absolutely. So what I figured out, I'm like a brain expert, and I figured out that we're not just physical beings, right? We're physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, but we have an energetic field. And there's actually an energy field around your brain and your body. Your energy field goes all the way out to the stars.
Hmm.
So anything can really affect you. It could be somebody you meet at the store. It can be your spouse. It can be your kids. It can be your clients. And so we're all energy. In fact, we're like 99% light and 1% matter.
Hmm.
So DNA is a photon light. It is light. And now we know it can be changed. It's not fixed, right? Genetics are not fixed. It's affected by the environment and everything. The energy work that I do that affects the brain and changes and rewires the brain, which then rewires your energy, you having energy, right? In your mind, your body, your spirit, and not having fatigue anymore. Is based on the fact that you actually have capacitor rings around your brain. So if you think about an atom and you've got the nucleus of an atom, and then you see those circles that spin around it, that's actually what it looks like in the field around your brain energetically. And when those get off balance or wobbly, that's when you feel fatigue or wobbly or unclear or unfocused. And so there's energy work and there's codes that actually put those rings back in balance. And it looks really funny when you first see it. It looked funny to me 20 years ago. But I was like, why are those people's faces changing so quickly in front of me? What are they doing? And then I just had to learn more. So that's where it all started, actually.
Excellent. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, so I know that there are some people who might be listening to this and maybe don't understand energy medicine and whatnot, but I would remind them that, the human body has a lot of electrical activity, right? And so we have,
Mm-hmm.
EEGs or our heart rhythm or our brain rhythm waves, right? And we've got EKGs, which are heart rhythms,
Mm-hmm.
and all nerve conduction studies and EMGs. That's the electrical activity that's kind of going through the muscle. So, just because we can't necessarily see it, and maybe it's hard to quantify in different ways, doesn't mean that it's actually that it's not there, because it definitely is there, and it is something that we need to pay attention to. And there's all sorts of ways of modifying people's energy. And so you have this system, the brain system and the brain soul success. How does that change from other, how does that differ from other transformational models?
Yeah, so the brain system, the 5 steps, is actually an acronym. Okay, so the B equals body. So that's what most people are doing in the world of working with health and wellness, is the body piece. That is nutrition. That's eating right. That's eating organic foods. That's paying attention to that electrical body, drinking purified water, right? Water stimulates that electrical being that we are. And so it's all those pieces, all the lifestyle pieces, exercise, sleep. And that's a piece of my system. But then I figured out we also have to release mental chatter, emotional baggage, and even ancestral type programs that are still in your energy field and in your brain and in your body. And so we have to release the old, right? Things like trauma, because trauma and emotions get stuck in the spaces of the brain. And so the R is releasing. And then A is aligned with spirit. And so aligned with spirit is spiritual, is always a part of health and healing. And I always say, whatever God means to you, it's not denominational, it's spirit, so it's the aligning with spirit. And then I is integrating your frequencies to your soul's true purpose. So I also found, and I'm sure you found this too, Dr. Evan, is that when people don't feel they have a purpose in life, it's harder to heal.
Mm-hmm.
So it's aligning that. So that's the integration piece. And then N is the new program. And I think this is missed a lot in transformational programs. It's rewiring you, your energy, your body, your mind with how you do want to show up in the world. What is it that you want to feel and be and do? So that can be talked about, but we also still have to put that pattern and rewire your brain with that intention.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the 5 steps. And so how it differs is it's just more comprehensive, and it includes that energetic piece. So I think of it as, mind, body, soul, and energy field. And when you do it simultaneously together rather than separately, it sticks better.
We want it to definitely stick.
It has to stick, because look at, how many people that, even listening to this podcast have tried nutrition, have tried, getting good sleep, have tried, exercise, have tried working with their emotions, have tried the spiritual path, maybe even tried some energy work. But when we're doing it sort of like, a little over here, a little over here, a little over here, a little over here. And I know I did that. That's why it took me so long to heal myself, is I wasn't using a simultaneous program where we're doing it all together.
Okay, thank you. So I would imagine there's people who have come through your program who have chronic fatigue, have ME/CFS, some of these symptoms.
Mm-hmm.
What have you seen with them? What are maybe some of the patterns in this 5-step process? How have they done in your program?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So usually it's faster for people. So I can think of one woman I work with who had a car accident. She definitely had a brain injury, had vertigo, fatigue. It almost appeared like long COVID, but it wasn't. It was really from the accident. And within a few sessions, she was already feeling better. And then by the end of 3 months, the vertigo, the IBS, all that stuff was gone. And now we were working on the rest of her life pattern and things like relationship. She ended up, gosh, it was so cool, because about in a year, everything changed. So her health changed. She retired. Her relationships were better. She got engaged. She became a health coach, started getting clients. Like, everything can change when you use a simultaneous system like that to really catapult people forward, both in their life and in their business.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So people may not understand kind of like what a brain soul balancing session looks like. So is there a way that you could demonstrate for us so that they can get a better sense about what that would look like?
Absolutely. I love, love, love doing this work. Can we use you as a surrogate for like the audience here?
Absolutely.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. So what we want to start with is really as a good question. And so we're setting what we call an intention or a goal. Okay, so that's the first part. And I use neuro-linguistic programming. So just good questions. And the very first one would be, what do you want to have change or be different?
So I'm representing everybody who's listening to this. And so
Yes.
I would
Yes.
say that um, we want more energy.
Okay, so I have more energy.
Mhm.
And if you had more energy, what would you do then that you're not doing now?
Um, I would be able to enjoy my work more. I'd be able to have more fun in the evenings. Maybe sometimes people's energy crashes towards the evening, so have more fun in the evenings, have more fun on weekends, be able to go on vacations again for a lot of folks. So I think, enjoy life more, do more things.
Okay. Okay. Awesome. So I'm writing all these down. So if you had more energy and you had energy to work more, to have more fun in the evenings, to have more fun on the weekends, maybe go on vacations, and enjoy doing more, what would you tell yourself then you're not telling yourself now?
That life is easy, that recovery is possible, that I think values would be reassessed. So um, I know for me, it was very hard to have fun when I had my chronic fatigue. So I think because I was constantly just trying to get through the day. So I think people would say probably that they're having more fun, or that fun is more of a value for them potentially.
Okay. So if you're telling yourself that life is easy, recovery is possible, you're having more fun, you're enjoying doing more, and you've got this energy now, how would that make you feel?
Mm. Free and optimistic and excited about life and joyful, grateful.
Look at those good words. Awesome. I like words. um, yeah, I feel free, optimistic, excited about life, joyful, grateful. Right. So, what
Mhm.
we really did is we walked the goal down and we said, hey, bottom line, it's how we feel. So, whenever you want to create an intention for something, when you create the emotion, the positive emotion, and you begin to feel that, almost like if you want to win the lottery, you have to act like you won the lottery, right? That feeling,
Mhm.
so it's that feeling. So, then what I do with all that is I say, okay, we've got all of our goals here, and I'm writing this down. So, you see me kind of over here with paper. And then I draw a box on this paper. This is called brain soul balancing, or a soul tie box. And then I put those positive words of how you want to feel, having more energy, being, free and optimistic and excited about life, joyful, grateful, being able to do things again. Right. And I put all of that energy and those words in a box. And then I'm actually using something called muscle testing. And muscle testing is a way to tap into the energy field to get information. And so a lot of chiropractors will use this. They will test, let's say, a supplement. They'll have you hold a supplement and they'll use an arm, right? And they're calibrating you to get a yes or no, whether that supplement is good for you. Well, I use muscle testing for this process, brain soul balancing, to get information in the energetic field about what's blocking you or the audience here, right? From feeling free and optimistic and having energy again and feeling excited about life and joyful and having fun. And so I'm asking good questions all the time, and then muscle testing for me long distance on Zoom like that is I actually just use a finger. And some of you may have seen this where you're getting a yes and a no instead of someone's arm. Yes, no. And you're familiar with muscle testing, right?
I am. We
Yeah.
actually now teach it in our program. We're teaching sway testing and pendulum testing because we find that people do better when they have those skills.
Oh, love that. Absolutely. And I've had people who have taught that too, and they've made comments like, oh my gosh, this opened up the whole, doorway for me. Now I can test my supplements, and they feel so empowered and inspired. So it's a great tool. I'm so glad you're doing that. The same. I have found the same. I test what color I'm going to wear. Today's a pink day. You can test your food. You can test where you're going to go on vacation. Our best family vacation years ago when my kids were teenagers, I sat them down and said, hey guys, are you okay if we muscle test the trip? Can we test what restaurant we're going to go to so they're not I have two kids that weren't fighting over which restaurant or whatever. And we all were in agreement. And it was the best vacation we ever took.
Wow.
Because we literally used intuition to test the whole thing. So if you guys are listening and you're learning muscle testing here in Dr. Evan's program, play with it. You can use it for anything. Yeah. All right. So we're going to say who or what is pulling us away from that optimistic, and that freedom and that energy. Male, female situation. And I get situation. Is it a recent or old situation? It's an old situation. Is it an old situation for Dr. Evan? Might be. For other people here in the room, yes. Is this just the situation of maybe having chronic fatigue or feeling fatigued? Let's do that situation because that'll be good for everybody. So this is just the situation of having fatigue. And then the way that this process works is it's the power of the spoken word, or the truth will set you free. So you may not see this if you're listening, but I'm holding up word lists. So I just have word lists. I have negative word lists, positive word lists. And so I'm just actually muscle testing what words are connected to this fatigue. So fatigue, suffering, burdened, isolation, emotional vampire. And what may happen as you're listening, oftentimes I see people sort of go down a little bit in energy and then they come back up because we're literally clearing the field program of that fatigue and the suffering or the isolation and what that felt like. And then the next part of this, we say, was that a liar, thief, or a fraud? Now, these words actually came from John 10:10 in the Bible. So they clear the brain and the soul. And so it's just deeper than just saying, I'm going to change my mindset. And so we say, hey, all of that energy of having that fatigue and that time in your life when you have that, that's a thief. And then we say, what did it do? Did it kill, steal, or destroy something? It destroyed. It destroyed freedom. So when we say that, it's like we're reclaiming freedom. And energy, destroyed freedom and energy. And comfort to have. So we're reclaiming more comfort to have. A, B, C, D, 1, 2. And protection, reclaiming protection. Because a lot of stuff is about not feeling safe. Right? When we don't feel safe, it's hard to heal. That's why we have to clear past abuse for people. And letting go. Awesome. Do we reclaim that freedom? Yep, that energy, that letting go, that comfort to have, and that protection. Is there another word? No. And then sometimes I use another little clearing statement. So this is just another energy tool. Some of you may have been exposed to this. It's called access consciousness. And I kind of like use it just to clean up anything. And we say, I destroy and uncreate any judgments, assumptions, projections, conclusions, decisions about the situation when you felt fatigue, whether you're in it now or it's something you had in the past. We release it now, let it go, allow you to be free, to be optimistic and free and excited about life and joyful and grateful, to get back your energy and go on vacations and have fun. Good and bad, right and wrong, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. And I know that makes no sense, but it's a clearing statement. Okay. Awesome. Good. And I'm already seeing your face change. So this is good news. Yes. It's kind of like people say I give them an energetic facelift. Because the stress melts away when you do this process, you know? So what's this next string? Is this a male, female, or a situation? It's another situation. Is it recent or old? It's a recent situation. Is it a recent situation with Dr. Evan? Might be. Is it also with other people in the room here listening? Yeah, so this is a recent situation. So what's the recent situation? Is it something just with you? Is it something with family? Is it something with friends? Is it something with clients? So is this you and your clients? It's just, I think this is the collective. This is everyone. This is all clients that are listening that want to have energy again, right? And have some tools to do that. So this is just the recent situation of all the clients and the people. Is it them just not having energy? Is it a specific situation? It's specific. Is it something in the last week, in the last 2 weeks, last 2 weeks? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days ago, something 8 days ago. Is it 8 days ago with you? There's something 8 days ago that may have happened for you that could be a representative for others here too. So about a week ago. What do you think about last Tuesday or Wednesday?
Let me take a look. I might have been, let's see, that might have been when I had a gallbladder attack.
Oh.
No, let's see. That was the day before. No, that was the day before I left. But I did recently have an out of the blue gallbladder attack that I'd never had before. That was kind of interesting. But no, this was.
Okay.
I'm
Well,
not
that's
sure
why
what
this is
happened on
coming
that
up
day.
here, because we have to clear this for you.
I think so.
Yeah, this is really good. Okay, awesome. What are the words about this? Do we need to name them? Yes, we do. Okay. And again, if you had anything, if someone listening had something about a week ago, the same words could follow for both, you know, for you and them. Intolerant, pain, devastated. I mean, if you never had one, ouch. Yeah. How did you get through it?
Lots of breathing. It happened kind of like in the middle of the night.
Okay.
And I ended up taking some baking soda and water, and that ended up helping. But I kind of just had to breathe through it. But it was very surprising. And so yesterday, I got an ultrasound to make sure that nothing was going on, but I never had anything like that before.
Well, good for you for doing the breathing and knowing what to do, taking the baking soda too. That's important. Yeah, good for you. Yeah. Well, you know what? Let's even just ask this then, because sometimes physical things are not always physical. So we could ask that too. I mean, you worked through it. You did great. So how much of this gallbladder attack was physical? Can I ask that for Dr. Evan? Yes, I can ask it. So was it 10, 20, 30, 1, 2, 3? It was 33% physical. And we can ask how much of it was mental, emotional. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 1, 2, 3, 73. So my finger sticks in. So 73% emotional. This is always just a fun little exercise to do. And then we could say how much of it is spiritual. 10, 20, 30, only 30% spiritual. How much of it was in the energetic field? How much of it started in the field? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 1, 2, 3, 4. 94% field. Now they're not going to equal 100. It's just a calibration to get numbers to give you an idea. So 94% was field, only 33% was physical. So if we don't, here's such a great example for everyone here. If we don't clear the field, you could take all kinds of things internally to help the physical gallbladder, but it won't clear it all the way. So that's why I did that, because somebody else may have not had the same exact thing, but maybe they had pain for some reason, right? You know, so there's anguish, devastated, panic, intolerant, off balance, pain. Was there shock? Probably shock. I learned we always have to clear the shock to heal. So is there shock still in that gallbladder? Yes. Okay. This is called emotion code. So I'm just going to have you do this with me, Dr. Evan. We're going to go down the corpus callosum till C7 here, and we're going to do that 10 times, saying, I release the shock in my gallbladder.
I release the shock in my gallbladder. I release the shock in my gallbladder. I release the shock in my gallbladder. I release the shock in my gallbladder.
I release the shock in my gallbladder. I release the shock in my gallbladder. Two more.
I release the shock in my gallbladder.
And I release the
shock in my gallbladder.
Good job. Yay. Oh, I'm so glad we're doing this. Okay, so all that energy was a thief on you. Your gallbladder's going to be fine. It was stealing your hope. I don't think there's anything physical. Your harmony, your hope, your harmony, your vision of what you thought would be, your trust, getting back your trust. A, 1, 2, 3. And your vitality. Yeah. Awesome. So we're just going to say good and bad, right and wrong, pot and pock, online shorts, boys and beyonds. Yay. Cool. We clear that? We did. Do you have a memory though of that night? Like, can you still see a picture in your mind of that time?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So that picture gets stuck in the brain or the crevices of the brain. It causes a little lesion. And so we can release that using EMDR. So I'm going to have you picture that so you don't have to hold on to that pain anymore. So it doesn't, if it ever something happens again that brings you to a place of pain in your body, that it doesn't trigger it. Okay. So picture that time, and again, the pain and the shock that you felt. And I'm going to have you keep your head straight and then watch my fingers. So this is called EMDR. And so your peripheral vision is going to kind of follow my fingers. Then we're going to look up to the ceiling, down to the floor, and then to the right side of the floor and down, and then to the left. Good job. And then come back to center, and then make a circle with your eyes like you're circling around a clock, and then go counterclockwise. Yay, good job. Should feel like a little fuzzier or lighter.
Yeah.
Good, like the charge has been taken off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, that was important for you. Huge. This is good. Okay, so what's this? Now, one last string, male, female situation, another situation. Oftentimes it's kind of the same thing all the way around. Is it a recent or old situation? Is it an old situation with Dr. Evan? Yes. Is it other people in the room here too? What's this old situation? Is it when you were a kid? It is. Were you age 0 through 5, 5 through 10, 10 through 15, 10, 11, 12? Were you around 11, around 12? You might have been 12, but some other people here might have been 11 or 12, 13, around that age. Do we need to know what it was? No. Do we need to know the words? So a lot of times we don't need to know the situation. We just need to know the words that were connected to it. And that's kind of a tough age anyway, right? Mm-hmm. Emotional vampire. And you might have a picture in your mind of that time, or maybe not. Do you actually see anything of when you were 11 or 12 that's sticking out?
I think the hardest thing for me at that time was being bullied. It wasn't really bad, but it was, it was enough to, and rejection of a peer group, from a peer
Okay.
group. Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. Awesome. Okay, so that's good. And thank you for your vulnerability here
Yeah.
too. Yeah, as you're opening up, it's helping other people too.
Hmm.
So thank you for that.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
so bullied, and I'm sure there's going to be other people who have that too. So the words I got were emotional vampire, devastated. You said rejection from your peers, bullied. Is there other word I need to name? Yes. 1, 2, helpless, lack of control.
Hmm.
And then we say, okay, was all that energy a liar, thief, or fraud? It's a thief. Killing, stealing. So it stole your confidence, your relief,
Hmm.
your serenity. So do we get back confidence, relief, serenity, and protection? And letting go. Now, again, you may or may not have pictures still in your mind. Do you still have pictures in your mind of being bullied?
I do.
You do. Okay, let's release those too. So again, we're just going to picture that time period and then that rejection that you felt from your peers and how yucky it made you feel. Let's release that. Okay? So I'm going to have you watch my fingers again. And then we're going to look up to the ceiling, down to the floor, and then to the right side of the floor and down, and then the left, and then come back to center and make a circle with your eyes like you're circling a clock, and the other way. Good job. You got good tracking. That's a good sign. Did you know that? You know why that's a good sign that
What?
you can do that with your eyes? Is because if someone's wiggling their eyes more, that means they have more emotional stuff to clear.
Hmm.
I know, it's so fascinating to me.
Hmm.
Yeah, you did good. Awesome. All right, let's see. Do we successfully clear that? Is it a little lighter?
Yes, it is a bit fuzzier. That memory is a bit fuzzier.
Good. We took that charge off of that. Yay, you can stand in your power in a bigger way. Love it. Okay, are there any other strings we need to do on this? No. Okay, so our goals here were, having more energy and being able to enjoy work more and have fun in the evenings. So now what we just did is called brain soul balancing or a soul tie box. It was a box. You guys can't read this, but I'll show you. It's just the box with all the strings and the words. Okay. So that's all it is. And yet what we did is cleared the brain and the soul. So that's the releasing piece. Now we want to rewire your brain, right? With the pieces that you want, where you really want to show up and what you want to have. And so I have you say these intentions, and then I use some codes in the energy field to rewire those capacitor rings we talked about and rewire your brain and your field so that these come to fruition. Okay, so that's this piece. So I'm going to have you say these. So say, I have more energy.
I have more energy.
I enjoy work more.
I enjoy work more.
And I have more fun in the evenings
And I have more fun in the evenings
and on the weekends.
and on the weekends.
Good. And then I muscle test those, and they actually should bring up stress because we didn't do the codes yet. Okay, so it's kind of like a pre-test. And say, I can go on vacations.
I can go on vacations.
I enjoy doing more.
I enjoy doing more.
And I tell myself life is easy.
And I tell myself life is easy.
Recovery is possible.
Recovery is possible.
I have more fun.
I have more fun.
I feel free and optimistic.
I feel free and optimistic.
Excited about life.
Excited about life.
Joyful and grateful.
Joyful and grateful.
Beautiful. And then what I do is it's called an integration, but it's codes. So there's numbers. And the reason why this works is because you have an energy field, and numbers is the universal language. So numbers speak to the body and the soul. Okay. These came actually from my teacher, and I don't know how she got them, but she was brilliant. I always say she knew the Bible as both a physics book and a spiritual book. It's like she took them from God energy, but I can't tell you how. I just know they work. Okay. So we're going to go down your left leg and clear stress. And so I'm just going to say, and really what I'm doing is circling my hand as if this was your leg, and I'm circling my hand like this. And I'm saying 2, 3 love, 5, 3 forgiveness, 6, 5 choice, 9, 2 freedom, 4, 2 greater love. Then we come down the front of the body, and these help with self-sabotage patterns and feeling confident. So then I circle and say 4, 2, and then I'll have you say this. Say, I have positive self-worth.
I have positive self-worth.
2, 2, say, I choose to succeed.
I choose to succeed.
4, 4, I choose to live in joy.
I choose to live in joy.
And 6, 2, I choose to live by the higher laws.
I choose to live by the higher laws.
Excellent. Do I need to do more? Yes. 1, 4, 7 on your back side. I'll have you look at my X. 4, 5. I balance the ring this way. That's the depth ring, and the alignment ring. Whoops. And the alignment ring, which goes sideways. And then 9, 6 in the armpit is the consciousness ring. Over the top of your head, 9, 6 is the cranial ring. So notice I'm naming rings. 8, 6 is the hearing ring. 6, 8 is the seeing ring. 3 to 9, 26 complete cycles, 5,859 times is the ring to all the rings. 2 to 8, 23 complete cycles, 2,623 times is a vibrational reset for emotions. And then we're going to release any trauma around any of this. 10, 5, 7, 8, 2, 8, 7, 7, 5, and the shock 1, 2, 3, placing this with peace 5, 2. 6, 7, 6, 7, 6, 7, 6, 7 balances like all the chakras. Cool. I know. Did you feel the wind through Zoom?
The wind?
That fun? The wind. I made wind with my hands.
I did. I started to feel chills
Okay.
in different parts of my body.
Oh, good. So see, we're resetting your energetic field with this beautiful program. So then I have you say those in and we lock it in. So say, I have more energy.
I have more energy.
And he's got it. And I enjoy work more.
I enjoy work more.
And I have more fun in the evenings and on the weekends.
I have more fun in the evenings and on the weekends.
And I can go on vacation.
And I can go on vacation.
Nice. I enjoy doing more.
I enjoy doing more.
Yay. I tell myself life is easy, recovery is possible.
I tell myself life is easy and recovery is possible.
Beautiful. And I have more fun.
And I have more fun.
I feel free and optimistic.
I feel free and optimistic.
Excited about life.
Excited about life.
Joyful and grateful.
Joyful and grateful.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful job. And then we lock it in. So it's like we did a pre-test, we re-educated with the codes, and then the lock is I have you put your hands together above your head. And if I was physically with you, I would try to pull your arms down and you would just stay strong. Okay, so this is part of what we call a lock. Then I'm going to have you cone your fingers together on your right hand. And we're going to make a circle in front of your heart and say the numbers 2, 2.
2, 2.
I choose to succeed.
I choose to succeed.
And then tap your belly button 8 times. And that's a lock. It like locks all of that in so that that's going to happen going forward now for you. Very cool. Thank you for being our surrogate for that.
Thank you for sharing that with us.
Yeah. Isn't that fun?
It's a lot of
fun.
It's
fun work. It's fun.
Yeah, and I definitely feel at peace. I definitely feel more of my energetic body as if I've just meditated or done some breath work. Yeah, I really appreciate that. And I love all the different aspects or all the different tools that you kind of brought in there. You know, you talked about the emotion code, you talked about EMDR, the muscle testing, you know, into your own system.
Yeah. Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely. And it's because it's simultaneous, and because we're doing it sort of together like that, is why it can catapult people forward faster and sticks. I'm always looking for a faster way. If I could wave a magic wand, I would do that.
Amen.
All
You
right.
you and me both.
Absolutely.
So yeah,
Yes.
so then how do you work with people? You have one-on-ones, I think you have groups, and then you're training people as well. Tell me about.
Yeah, yeah. So I have one-on-one sessions with people. I also have group programs where we learn some of the little bits of the brain system, and then I'm training people in the whole system. And so that's my year-long program. And when you learn the whole system, it's like nothing can stop you. And you can achieve anything. Like the example I gave of the woman that I work with who's in our community, who's learned the system now, and all the things that have changed in her life, her business, her health. So it's literally that comprehensive.
So does it become, and so you taught her how to do this, and then she's doing it on other people.
Yeah, so I have some certified coaches who are working with people too, who work with people both in our community and in their own businesses, who are using the BRAIN. And they've also learned the N piece, the new program piece, which was those codes that I just used with you. And that's a very small little, what we call integration. It's called mini integration. There's actually much longer work that I just did at our retreat where it's movement with the codes. And that very first integration is for relationship to self, relationship to learning, relationship to the world. It's called the miracle. And it truly is the miracle. Literally have helped people with anything from chronic fatigue to dyslexia to ADHD. It's like they get their whole brain power back and succeed in school, succeed in life, whether you're, kid or adult. So that work is very deep.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And then um, and then you have a free gift for our listeners, right?
Yes.
Can you
Yes.
talk a little bit about the assessment?
Yeah, so I love to meet with people. So we have a brain soul assessment, and it's an opportunity for me to learn about you, what your goals and intentions are, and if I can help you, or I know someone like Dr. Evan can help you. So we kind of go over that, and we look at what's that one big block for you. Maybe it's an ancestral block. Maybe it's you had fatigue and it started when you were 16, or something. So we look at that.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely encourage people to take advantage of that. And then we'll drop your website below here. So is it louiseswartswalter.com or
Yes.
brainsoulsuccess.com?
Yes, good. Yeah, I love that question. It's louiseswartswalter.com, but we are rolling out in a few weeks here, brainsoulsuccess.com. So both of those are up right now. Brain Soul Success is almost done. Super excited about that. So, but right now you can find me on louiseswartswalter.com.
Okay,
Yeah.
wonderful. Anything else that you want to share with our listeners that I haven't asked you before we conclude?
I always like to end with this. I say, follow your heart, but take your brain with you.
Hmm, that's a good one.
Yeah. A good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Louise, thank you so much for being with me today. I so appreciate the wonderful work that you're doing. I so appreciate you demonstrating that for us so people get a real sense of what it looks like to work with you. And I encourage people to reach out to get that assessment if it speaks to you and to really remember that this is an important aspect of health, that looking at the energetic body and
Mhm.
working on that, working on the emotions beyond the physical is so important.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. I just love you, Dr. Evan. I love the work you're
Oh,
doing. I love your heart. You've got a lot of beautiful heart. Perfect person to be working with fatigue with people.
hmm.
Yeah, so good.
Thank you, Louise. I hope you learned something on today's podcast. If you did, please share it with your friends and family and leave us a 5-star review on iTunes. It's really helpful for getting this information out to more people who desperately need it. Sharing all the experts I know and love and the powerful tips I have is one of my absolute favorite things to do. Thanks for being part of my community. Just a reminder, this podcast is for educational purposes only and is not a substitute for professional care by a doctor or other qualified medical professional. It is provided with the understanding that it does not constitute medical or other professional advice or services. Thanks for listening, and have an amazing day.